You know George Orwell's 1984? It's so much more than just a story. It's really a playbook, right? A step-by-step guide on how absolute power actually works. So in this explainer, we're not just going to retell the plot. No, we're going to deconstruct it. We're going to treat it like a manual for controlling reality itself, and then we'll look at just how chillingly relevant it all is in our world today.
It all kicks off with these four simple words, but wow, the weight they carry is just immense. This isn't just a catchy slogan, it's the entire psychological foundation of the state. Just try to imagine it, a world where privacy isn't just gone, it's a concept people don't even remember. Every single word, every glance, even a flicker of a thought, it could all be monitored. That constant crushing pressure, that's the party's first, and maybe its most powerful tool of control.
All right, so here's how we're going to break down this Orwellian playbook. First up, we'll look at the architecture of control. You know, how the whole system is built. Then, we're going to get into its main weapon, rewriting reality itself. After that, we dive into the mind, the real battlefield, and then we'll connect it all to our world today, and finish up with the warning Orwell left for all of us.
Okay, first section. To really get how the party keeps such a tight grip, you've got to look at its structure. And this isn't just about brute force, not at all. It's something way more insidious. It's a whole architecture of control, a system so cleverly deceptive that it actually gets people to participate in their own oppression.
So check this out. The whole foundation of the party's power is built on this really jarring irony. Just look at the names of the four ministries. You've got the Ministry of Peace, which runs a perpetual war. The Ministry of Truth, which just pumps out lies. The Ministry of Love, yeah, that's where the torture and brainwashing happens. And the Ministry of Plenty, it manages starvation. This isn't just some cynical joke. It's a psychological weapon. That constant, in-your-face contradiction is the point. It's designed to completely shatter your trust in what you see and hear.
All right, so controlling the government is one thing, but for the party, that's not nearly enough. Their ambition is, well, it's terrifyingly absolute. They want to control reality itself. And how do you do that? Well, you seize control of the two things that build our world, language and history. And their main weapon here is something called newspeak. Now, this isn't just a bunch of new slang. It's a systematic takedown of language as we know it. So what's the goal? To make rebellious thoughts literally unthinkable. I mean, think about it. If you don't have a word for freedom, how can you even form the concept in your head? It's like building a cage for the mind, but the bars are made of grammar. And the book is so clear about this. The whole sinister goal is laid out by one of the guys who created the language, a character named Syme. He explains, and he's weirdly enthusiastic about it, that the whole point isn't just to control what people say. It's to narrow the very range of what people can think. So if newspeak is the cage, then doublethink is the mental trick you need to learn to live inside it. It's kind of like a psychological superpower that the party demands from everyone. It's this ability to hold two totally contradictory ideas in your head at the same time, and believe both of them. It's knowing something is a flat-out lie, but also believing it with every fiber of your being. That's how you train a mind to just accept a world that makes no sense.
And these three slogans: war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. This is the final exam for doublethink. These aren't just phrases on a poster. They are paradoxes being hammered into reality. When you get people to not just repeat this stuff, but to truly believe it, well, you've just proven you have total control over their minds. Because if you can make them believe this, you can make them believe absolutely anything.
So controlling language and history, that's still kind of an external thing, right? The party's real endgame is to win the war that's happening inside your head. This is where it goes beyond basic propaganda and gets into some really sophisticated psychological warfare. The goal isn't just obedience, it's to get people to conform willingly, even enthusiastically.
And this is the thing you've got to get. All of it. The surveillance, the propaganda, the punishments, those are just tools. The real prize, the thing the party wants more than anything, is the complete takeover of your inner world. They want to own your thoughts, your fears, your loyalties. Total psychological domination. That's the final frontier of power for them. One of their key weapons in this psychological war is something we call groupthink. Basically, regimes like the party take a really fundamental human need, our desire to belong, and they turn it into a weapon.
They create this social pressure cooker where being an individual is the worst possible crime. Survival means blending in, feeling what everyone else is feeling, no matter how crazy or irrational it seems.
And the 2 minutes hate from the book, it's a perfect, chilling example of this. It's this daily ritual where everyone gets together and is just whipped into a frenzy of pure rage against whoever the state's enemy of the day is. What's so scary is that even the main character, Winston, who secretly hates the party, finds himself getting swept up in it. The social pressure, that shared hysteria, is just so powerful that he can't resist. Your own individual reason just gets completely steamrolled.
And here's a fascinating little tidbit. Orwell wasn't just making this stuff up out of thin air. The inspiration for the terrifying Ministry of Truth was an actual place, the huge, imposing Senate House at the University of London. It just goes to show you how his whole dystopian vision was shaped by the giant, faceless structures of power he saw in the real world. It grounds the whole story in a very real kind of anxiety.
Okay, so this is where it gets really unsettling. We have to talk about how Orwell's work reflects our own world. Because what was once just dystopian fiction, well, it's starting to feel eerily familiar, isn't it? That telescreen he imagined on every wall, it's basically the smartphone in your pocket.
I mean, the parallels are just stark. Orwell's telescreens, that's our smartphones, our smart speakers, the countless CCTV cameras everywhere. The thought police? Well, now we have social media algorithms and data brokers watching our every move online. The memory hole for getting rid of inconvenient history. You can see echoes of that in content moderation and deplatforming, the ability to just erase things from the digital world. At this point, the real question isn't if there are parallels, it's just how deep they actually go.
But here's the one really crucial difference, and it is a massive one. Orwell pictured a top-down surveillance state, right? Run only by the government for political control. In our reality, this huge surveillance network has mostly been built by private companies, and their goal isn't ideological purity, it's profit. We're being monitored, monetized, and manipulated by corporations just as much, maybe even more than, by any government.
So here we are, decades after it was written, and 1984 is still so much more than a novel. It's an essential warning. It literally gave us the words, newspeak, doublethink, big brother, that we need to talk about power, technology, and what truth even means in our own lives.
And all this leaves us with one last, pretty tough question. See, in Orwell's world, surveillance was forced on people. They had no choice. But today, we're the ones carrying the tracking devices in our pockets. We're the ones who embrace the platforms that profile us. We trade our private data for convenience, for connection. So the really unsettling question is, are we voluntarily building our own version of Big Brother? One click, one post, one I agree at a time? If you found this explainer valuable, please do us a favor and help keep the conversation going. Like, subscribe, and share it with your family and friends.